Good morning everyone. This is Ramnathan. Today I am going to discuss about a case which shook our nation in the year 1994. This case had victimized our two innocent ISRO scientists who were at the peak of their career. In fact, this case had pushed our nation behind 10 years in introducing cryogenic engines for our satellite launch vehicles at that time. I think by this time you might have guessed what is the case we are going to discuss about. Yes, it's all about the infamous spy scandal case of ISRO. The victims are Dr. Nambi Narayanan, who was the project director for cryogenic projects at ISRO at that time, and Mr. D. Sashikumaran, who was the deputy director for cryogenic projects at ISRO. I have a PowerPoint presentation for you all about this complete case. Before getting into that presentation, let me give a brief introduction about Dr. Nambi Narayanan. Dr. Nambi Narayanan is the former scientist of ISRO. He was very much instrumental in developing Vikas engines for fueling PSLV rockets at that time. Dr. Nambi Narayanan had fathered the liquid propellant system technologies in our India for the very first time. So, because of his capabilities, ISRO had appointed this person as the director for cryogenic projects, which ISRO thought this project, cryogenic projects, is going to fuel our India's future projects in interplanetary and manned missions as well. So, without wasting much time, let us get into the presentation right away. This is my presentation about this case. Let us see how a patriot turned into a traitor by our broken system. In the year 1992, India and Russia entered a contract for transferring the technology for developing cryogenic engines in India, along with the procurement of two cryogenic engines from Russia for the value of rupees 235 crores. But for this move, United States of America started objecting, and even USA went to the extent of threatening Russia for entering this contract with India. The reason was that only few countries including USA and Russia were developing cryogenic engines at that time. So if India is allowed entering this market, definitely the cost and price point of these cryogenic engines will go down because of the abundant human resources what we have in our country. So USA don't want India to enter this market of developing cryogenic engines. So USA's objection was validated at that time, and Russia obeyed to the objection of USA, and Russia even tried redrafting the contract and denied providing the technology services to India on this development of cryogenic engines. For this, India made a brilliant move and demanded for four cryogenic engines along with two markups instead of getting technology from them. India's plan was that ISRO entered a consensus with a private company called Kerala High-Tech Industries Limited, which is very well known for its extracting the technology from the hardware itself, so that we can develop our own cryogenic engines from in our country itself, so that it's a self-reliant move at that time. For this project, Dr. Nambi Narayanan was appointed as the director for cryogenic engines, and this man is known for his brilliance, and as I have already said, Dr. Nambi Narayanan has fathered the liquid propellant system technologies in our India for the very first time, and he was heading the two parts in developing PSLV rockets out of four parts. So if this man enter this project, then definitely that project will be a successful one, and India will start developing cryogenic engines on its own. So to stop this man entering this project, the foreign agencies tried framing some unwanted cases and fabricated some cases along with the collision with the Indian officials as well. Let us see how it has happened. On 21st October 1994, a Maldivian woman, Mariam Rashida, was arrested for overstaying. That is, she stayed in India even after her visa had ended. So for that offence, she was arrested. But after her arrest, the case completely turned into a different path. Like after her confession on 15th November 1994, another woman, Maldivian woman, Fauzia Hassan, was also arrested. And these two women were charged under the conspiracy of getting some official secrets, that is getting some important secret matters about ISRO. These two men were framed under a case of under the cases of Official Secrets Act by the Kerala government at that time. The chain was created like Mariam had a contact with D. Sashikumaran, who was the Deputy Director of Cryogenic Engines Projects at that time. So, by this person's confession, on 21st November 1994, the former scientist D. Sashikumaran was also arrested for having his contact in the diary of Mariam Rashida. And Mr. D. Sashikumaran was directly reporting to Dr. Nambi Narayanan, who was the director for cryogenic engines at that time. So on 30th November 1994, Dr. Nambi Narayanan was also arrested. But the sad thing is that Dr. Nambi Narayanan even didn't know what has happened. The charges framed on these persons were like these two scientists had leaked the ISRO secrets, like these two scientists had leaked the plans of creating cryogenic engines and Vikas engines to the Pakistani nationals via these intermediaries like Mariam Rashida and Fauzia Hassan. So these were the charges framed by the special investigation team at that time, and even Intelligence Bureau were also involved in creating this case against these persons. On 4th December 1994, based on the recommendation given by Kerala state government, CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, took up this case. And after complete thorough investigation for about 18 months under section 173 class 2 of Criminal Procedure Code, CBI filed a detailed report before Chief Judicial Magistrate of Ernakulam, stating that there was no substantial evidence and the case was completely a fabricated one, and the intelligence agencies doesn't have any substantial evidences against these accused. So, based on CBI's report, on 2nd May 1996, the Chief Judicial Magistrate of Ernakulam, the court accepted the report of CBI and discharged all the 6 accused from this case. So, if we look at the findings of Central Bureau of Investigation, it was stated that no incriminating ISRO documents were recovered either from the official or from the personal premises of Dr. Nambi Narayanan or from D. Sashikumaran, the former scientist. And the entire investigation was left to the Intelligence Bureau from the special investigation team of Kerala government. So IB started blaming SIT and SIT started blaming IB. No searches were made in Dr. Nambi Narayanan's official and residential premises. So if a person is being arrested for some conspiracy cases, their residential premises and official premises should be continued with the searches, right? But there was no such searches made in either of the premises of Dr. Nambi Narayanan, and even the special investigation team didn't even verify the hotels stated by the accused. It was made under the confession given by the accused number 1, Mariam, that they have chosen some hotels and some other places for getting those ISRO documents from these former scientists, and the money transactions are going to happen at that time and happened at that time as well. That was the confession given by the accused Mariam. But the special investigation team didn't even verify the hotels. So from this point, it is clear that it's a cooked up case, it's a put up case, and it's a completely a fabricated case, because if the confession has been obtained under duress or under some pressure, these activities, that is like didn't even verifying, cross checking, or didn't even searching the premises, will happen often. So that was the case here. By being unhappy with the framed by this Central Bureau of Investigation, that is being unhappy with the findings of CBI and reports of CBI. The government of Kerala at that time opted for re-investigation on 26 June 1996. But this re-investigation option was challenged by Dr. Nambi Narayanan in High Court of Kerala under original petition number 14248 of 96. But High Court of Kerala on 27th November 1996 upheld the notification. So one of the accused, K. Chandrasekhar, also approached the Supreme Court for quashing this above notification on 29th April 1998, Supreme Court quashed the above notification issued by Kerala government, stating that if a government has permitted the Central Bureau of Investigation to investigate a case, that should not be re-investigated again by some other agencies, because CBI is considered as the elite intelligence agencies in India. So no other agency should re-investigate the case. Whereas if the government thinks it should be further investigated, they can very well approach, or they can very well request the Central Bureau of Investigation to investigate further. So that was the judgment given in favor of Dr. Nambi Narayanan and other accused not to re-investigate this case on 29/4/1998. And on the same year, National Human Rights Commission awarded Dr. Nambi Narayanan for a compensation for a value of rupees 10 lakhs. And in the year 2012, High Court of Kerala directed the government to pay rupees 10 lakhs as an interim relief to Dr. Nambi Narayanan. And a public interest litigation was filed under writ petition number 808 of 2010, praying that stringent action should be taken against the erring officials who were responsible for ruining the personal life and the career of the former scientists, along with 2 foreign nationals as well. But the High Court of Kerala at that time disposed the writ petition as an infructuous one. So to avoid these consequences, Kerala government made a notification on 29th June 2011, stating that there will not be any action taken against the erring officials, since this will demoralize the investigation agencies. So that was the notification circulated by Kerala government at that time. Based on this notification, a writ petition under 30918 of 2012 was filed under High Court of Kerala under a single judge bench, and this above notification was quashed by the single judge bench at that time. But for this judgment, Kerala government didn't went for any appeals, whereas the then DIG CB Matthews, who was responsible and who was heading these 2 cases, challenged the above judgment under writ appeal 1863 of 2014 under a division bench. But the division bench reversed the order and upheld the notification issued by the Kerala government. So being unhappy with that judgment, Dr. Nambi Narayanan approached the Supreme Court under Civil Appeal 6637 of 2018. And in that case, the allegations placed by the then DIG CB Matthews was, after the arrest of the accused number 1 Mariam in the mid of October, a voluntary retirement service was opted by Dr. Nambi Narayanan on 1st November 1994. It seems to be a fishy one. So that was the first contention placed by CB Matthews. So Matthews was the one who preferred for Central Bureau of Investigation's inquiry. So he just tried showing him that he was innocent person. And he also stated that special investigation team investigated the case only for 17 days, and they transferred the case to Intelligence Bureau and then to CBI. And he tried stating that the special investigation team is no way responsible for any tortures or any injustice happened to these former scientists. So these were the contentions placed by CB Matthews. And if you look at the findings of the Supreme Court in that case, it was clearly said that statements whatever confessed by the accused were obtained under duress. So in our previous slide, we have seen that accused number 1 Mariam had clearly said under their confession that they have some contacts with the former ISO, with the ISRO scientists. So even those statements were obtained under duress. So that was a clear-cut point mentioned by our Supreme Court. And yeah, an expert committee has been formed to verify the documents available in ISRO regarding Vikas engines and cryogenic engines, which are going to be executed in the near future projects. But all the documents are available in ISRO, and there is no evidence for missing documents or loss of documents, even though our ISRO has an open system for accessing all the documents for directors and deputy directors. Dr. Nambi Narayanan and D. Sashikumaran didn't access any of those documents in their official premises, or they have not taken any of those documents to their personal premises as well. And personal diaries of Mariam Rashida and Chandrasekharan were recovered, and in their diaries they had a habit of mentioning all the day-to-day activities, and in those diaries none of the activities seem to be a fishy one or suspect one regarding raising the doubts regarding this leakage of documents case. So since Intelligence Bureau and Special Investigation Team don't have any supportings from their diaries, they didn't even took this document as a supportive document for them. But CBA had recovered these personal diaries and they have submitted along with the documents. So finally, Supreme Court had awarded an amount of rupees 50 lakhs as a compensation to Dr. Nambi Narayanan. But Dr. Nambi Narayanan, who appeared personally in our apex court, had clearly stated that he is not here for money. Just he want justice in our country because he was at the peak of his career and his personal life along with his career has been ruined. So this the erring officials who had caused this much of damages to his career should be punished, so that in the future no other official should do the same activity for some other innocent persons. So that was his statement made by Dr. Nambi Narayanan in front of our three judges bench in our Supreme Court. So based on his arguments, the then Chief Justice Deepak Mishra of in our apex court had ordered for forming a committee, that is forming Justice D.K. Jain. Justice D.K. Jain is our former justice of our Honorable Supreme Court. So under his heading, the three-member committee has been formed to probe about the actions to be taken against the erring officials, and to probe about the conspiracies. What are all the conspiracies involved across this case? So who are all the persons to be prosecuted? So that was the probe to be carried out by this committee. And if you look at the recent developments, Kerala government had decided to avail rupees 1.3 crores for to Nambi Narayanan as a compensation, and Nambi Narayanan has been conferred a Padma Bhushan award, one of the powerful civilian awards which has been availed to him by our country. And D.K. Jain committee has submitted its recommendation in a sealed cover by last month. And this central government, the current sitting central government, seeks urgent hearing to implement the recommendations of D.K. Jain committee, and our Chief Justice S.A. Babde has clearly said that we will hear this case by coming week. So we hope this case will be heard, and the recommendations given by D.K. Jain committee will be opened in the open court, and these recommendations will be implemented. I'm hoping for that. And what are the after getting these recommendations from this D.K. Jain committees, the questions to be answered are, I am expecting these questions to be answered from this case. The first is about who sanctioned torture of Nambi Narayanan. So the then DSP Joshua has clearly said that under instruction Dr. Nambi Narayanan was arrested. So under whose instruction Nambi Narayanan was arrested and tortured for these under this special investigation team. And my second question is about why did police arrested Nambi Narayanan after deciding to transfer the case to CBI? Because after his arrest immediately, in about 3 days, this case was took up by CBI. So then what is the necessity of arresting a director of ISRO? And who was behind this ISRO spy conspiracy, including I suspect there are some foreign intelligence agencies behind this case, and I will just explain you in the forthcoming slides. And who wanted Nambi Narayanan fixed in this spy case, and why did cops, that is Kerala State Police, wanted Nambi Narayanan removed from this cryogenic program of ISRO, and why did cops want Nambi Narayanan? Dr. Nambi Narayanan was forced to name the then ISRO chief U.R. Rao, but he didn't do that. He denied because he is an innocent person and he don't want any other innocent people to get into trouble, so he didn't name anyone. And these are the conspiracies which I presume. The first thing is that misadventure of Kerala police officers. In my second slide, I guess, I have clearly said that Mariam Rashida was arrested for overstaying in India. That is, she was arrested since she stayed in India even after her visa had ended. So at that time, despite having the tickets in her hands, she approached the inspector, Mr. Vijayan, for extension and for getting permission, stating that because of Bandh which was happening at that time in Kerala, she was unable to move to airport and she missed her flight. So she obtained extension and she obtained permission from the police, from the inspector of police at that time, Mr. Vijayan. But Mr. Vijayan had approached her for some sexual favors, it seems. So that was the case, and that was the confession given by Miss Mariam Rashida at that time. So it's fully a misadventure of Kerala police officers, and the ring officials should be punished for their activities. And if you look at this political conspiracy, that is my second presumption. Political conspiracy in the sense, when this case was happening in Kerala, the Congress government was ruling the state, and the chief minister was Mr. K. Karnakaran. So as we know, Congress, they have teams and sub-teams within their party itself. So at that time, Mr. A.K. Antony was the rival group for this chief minister, the then chief minister K. Karnakaran. So Mr. A.K. Antony wanted to bring Karnakaran from his chief minister's position. So since this spy case, ISRO spy scandal case, was boomed up at that time, he just blew it up, and he tried inducing this case more and more, and this was one of the main reasons for putting up this case. And my last point, even though it is not been proved, there were some illegal and dirty liaisons between our intelligence bureau officers and foreign intelligence agencies who denied Dr. Nambi Narayanan for entering this cryogenic projects, which our government projected as fuel for our forthcoming projects, that is for our future projects, including some manned missions as well. So Dr. Nambi Narayanan was denied, and even our country, as I have already said, even our country had pushed behind 10 years in introducing these cryogenic engines for our satellite launch vehicles in our ISRO. So to conclude my session, as Martin Luther King clearly said, injustice anywhere will be a threat to justice everywhere. So these erring officials should be punished, and we should feel ashamed of being prosecuting the person like Dr. Nambi Narayanan, because we do not, as Dr. Nambi Narayanan had made a legal battle for about 27 years, but in each and every day there are a lot of things happening, and there are a lot of injustice happening across our country for layman and common man. So they cannot do a battle like Dr. Nambi Narayanan. So justice should be administered at any cost. Jai Hind.